Took another drive out to the Pico Rivera Walmart this past Friday. It was July the 3rd, and I arrived at the Walmart about 8:30 p.m. And the first thing that I noticed when I arrived were that there were two security guards in the Walmart parking lot. There was the original white truck that is always parked at Walmart, and then there was another white security car, and both the security truck and the security car had their flashing lights on. So that was the first thing I noticed when I got there. And I took a drive around the building, and over on the, if you're facing Walmart, on the left side where they have the loading docks, opposite of where they have the cart returns, on the other side they have a big green fence around the loading docks. And it was dark, so I couldn't see in there very well, but I could tell there was like a few materials in there, maybe some pallets, something, I'm not really sure. Like I said, it was pretty late. But they do have a big green fence around it, and I wanted to go ahead and add a photo in here from a couple weeks ago when I visited Walmart. I didn't see anything too interesting that visit, but I did take a walk in front of the store, and part of the window there's no tarp on it. So I got a picture, as you can see, of inside the store. And as you can see here, the store is completely empty, other than still having the cash registers in place, the checkout lines. The entire floor is just empty. So my husband and I sat in the Lowe's parking lot on the side closest to the loading docks where they had the green fence set up. And we sat there from about 8:30 until about 11:30 p.m. And we noticed a few families walking in front of Walmart. It was Friday night. They were doing some fireworks shows. It was a nice night out, so I'm assuming it was just, people walking around. But a couple different sets of people had walked, from the Lowe's area, right next door to Walmart, in front of Walmart, like right in front of the windows. And every time somebody would walk in front of Walmart, the security guard in the white car would leave where he was sitting, and he would drive up to where they were at, I guess to make sure they weren't doing anything wrong or anything like that. So he would drive up to them, and then he would drive back around the Walmart and circle back around with his lights on. He would circle it a few times, and then he would go and park again and, sit there. So he did that every time somebody walked near Walmart. He drove up to them and circled the building a couple times. So there was that. And also, I visited this Walmart 3 times now in the past month and a half, and every time I visit, it's usually a little bit later at night or in the afternoon, and there's always a dark civilian car sitting behind Walmart. There are some buildings, some businesses sitting behind Walmart in the back of it, and there's always a dark, maybe like a Corolla or a Camry, like a family type little car sitting back there, and it always has a person sitting in it with their lights off. And when we show up every time, they're out there, and when we leave, they're out there. So, sometimes we show up at 6, stay out there till about midnight, and they're there when we arrive, and they're still sitting there after we leave. So I'm not sure if it's somebody scoping out Walmart, seeing what's going on just like me, or if it's a security guard, an undercover security guard sitting out there, because there is no parking lot in the back of Walmart, so you would have to sit in the business parking lot behind Walmart to get a view of the back of the store. So I thought that was interesting and wanted to share that. I'll probably be heading back to the store in about 2 weeks once Jade Helm starts. So of course, if I do, I'll be making another video about that. But I thought it was interesting that they upped their security, especially since we are getting closer to Jade Helm. And I mean, it is still strange to me. It's an empty department store. I know they said they're supposed to be reopening, but from the different things that I've heard, like the man who stopped and asked the Tulsa, Oklahoma security guard when he thought they would be reopening, and he said they were indefinitely closed. And I also had another man, Jason Moore, comment on my last Walmart video, and he said he spoke with Walmart headquarters and that a couple of the different locations, including Pico Rivera, were permanently closed and weren't going to be reopening. So I find it strange that they set up the green fence here recently, because they're not bringing anything out of the store, I don't believe, since the whole store is already empty and has been empty. So it looks like they're probably moving something into the store. So I'm not exactly sure what's going on with that, but like I said, the extra security guards probably make sense if there is something, you know, ties going on with Jade Helm, because the plumbing story, you know, maybe it was believable when I made the first Walmart video, but, you know, the more time we spend researching and looking into Walmart, the less I believe that there's actually a plumbing issue going on, because like I said, the store is empty. They haven't had any plumbing going on, even though the store has been closed for months. They used to have just one security guard, and now they've upped it up to 2 security guards. And before I left the store the other night, there was actually 3 security guards out there. I don't know if the third guy was out there to relieve one of the other security guards or not, but there were 3 different security men when I left the Walmart, which seems like a lot of security for an empty department store. So I think that was about it on my update. Other than that, I don't think I saw anything weird. Like I said in my previous video, all the cart returns have been put up. Store's completely empty inside the garden center. All the carts, as far as I saw, were stored inside the garden center. Everything's taped up for the most part. They have 24/7 security men on the clock watching the store. But like I said, I will be heading back in about 2 weeks when Jade Helm starts. It should be a little more interesting when that gets on the go. So I will be giving an update on that. And I also have a Facebook page if you guys would like to go and like that. I post on that regularly, so I will provide the link for that below. Like I said, I will be posting again in a couple weeks, so be on the lookout. If you'd like, please subscribe, and I will see you all then.